But we want to give the man at the center of this the opportunity to respond for himself. So let's bring in Steve Baker, writer for the Blaze News, who was charged by the DOJ last week. Also with us is his attorney, Bill Shipley. Gentlemen, thanks very much for coming on the program. Appreciate it. All right, Steve, let me let you take the stage. Tell me what you think I'm getting wrong here or taking out of context, et cetera.
Well, you're not taking anything out of context yourself because the FBI did that for you. You know, these statement of facts that they write are specifically designed to support a narrative of an intended prosecution. And just the four basic charges alone are what they charge all of the low-level defendants with. And in this particular case, the only one that's even remotely accurate is the first one, the glorified trespassing charge. Was I in a restricted space? Yes, myself and 60 other journalists were as well. But the reality is, and we're going to be able to show this through the actual videos, is that those other three charges never happened, including this alleged confrontational action I had with law enforcement. You should see all my stories are very supportive of the Capitol Police officers after this particular event. As a matter of fact, what had happened, out of context, as the FBI puts it, what really took place is Ashley Babbitt had just been shot two or 3 minutes before I rounded this corner. And for the first time all day, law enforcement officers every one of them have their weapons drawn. And we haven't seen that all day. Everything in the journey that I had been on, I was following a crowd of peaceful people. I had seen no violence. I'd seen some property damage, but I'd seen no violence whatsoever. Unbeknownst to us, Ashley Babbitt had just been shot. All of a sudden, all the guns come out. And I'm asking a question. All you saw were the words and how they presented it, but you don't hear from that how I asked them, are you planning on shooting us? I wanted to know, am I in danger right now? And then the other thing that they don't show in the FBI statement of facts is that one of the law enforcement officers came over to us and put his hands up and said, it's not us, it's not us.
Well, Steve,
he was apologizing for the chaos.
Let me ask you this, because the reason I was particularly interested in your story, right, is the journalism piece of this. You heard me say in the introduction that if you were there chronicling the event, I don't care if you breached the Capitol, I don't think you should be charged, right? If you were there as a journalist and you made the point that there are, quote, 60 other journalists, and yet, you know, I played some of the sound of things that you've said, and then you also said in a YouTube video, you said the only thing I regret is that I didn't, like, steal their computers because God knows what I could have found on their computers if I had done that, referring, I assume, to Nancy Pelosi. You know, is that really a journalist or is that an activist?
It's a guy sitting there with his best friend who is also a writer. And we're sitting there with adult beverages at 11 o'clock at night watching the news about Pelosi's laptop being stolen and me joking in the context of the moment saying, I wish I'd have got that, what I could have found. You got to understand in the context of this is I'm a libertarian. I was not a Trump supporter. I wasn't there supporting the rally that day. I was there covering an event. I didn't know what the event would become, but I followed the story where the story went.
Do you challenge, do you think it's an issue that a number of people have been charged in connection with January 6th?
Do I challenge it? No.
Yeah. Do you think it's wrong?
If you were swinging a bat at a cop, you deserve what you got coming to you. But as I've reported over and over again from firsthand eyewitness circumstance, is most of the people that entered the property that day, they had no idea barricades even existed. Mm-hmm. And most of the 3,500 people that went inside the building saw no resistance. They just saw long lines of people going in, and they joined the line. So they became what I call the accidental tourists of the day.
So to be clear, your position is you attacked a police officer, you should be charged. If you engaged in property damage, I assume you agree you should be charged, correct?
Absolutely.
Right. So your point is just the other foot. Look,
when I was walking down Pelosi's hallway, the first thing I saw was that they had started damaging property in there. I got the hell out of there immediately.
Mr. Shipley, is part of your defense going to be that he is a journalist, or is it going to be more along the lines of the facts that Dave's laying out?
Well, it's going to be both. We're going to challenge his prosecution on the basis that it's selective. And I take a little issue with your premise at the outset that, you know, what I hear you saying is that advocacy journalism is not journalism. There was a.
I'm saying an
freelance
activist. I'm saying an activist is not a journalist. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're just because you're in journalism and you go and you do something that is illegal, you can't just say, "Well, I'm a journalist, and so I was there and I can get out of it." That's all I'm saying.
Well, but then you're drawing a line based on the content of what he writes or says after the fact. And the example is there was a 15,000 word piece done a week later in the New Yorker. The writer was a freelancer. He sold the piece to the New Yorker. He went in through a broken window and he wrote a very critical piece on the protesters, advocacy journalism, just from the opposite direction. And he was put up for a Pulitzer. He's never been charged. He crawled in through a broken window behind others going in through the broken window. Steve went in 6 minutes. Now, I know these facts really well. I've represented more than 50 January 6 defendants. He went in 6 minutes after the Senate wing door was broken into. There were probably 500 people that went in ahead of him. He just walked in through doors that were open. The other journalist went through a broken window.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.